The greatest problem of human beings is their desire to control everything. They want circumstances to unfold according to their wishes. They want people to behave as they desire, and they want the future to align exactly with what they have imagined. But life never operates according to anyone's will. Life flows according to its own current, and anyone who tries to go against that current only receives suffering. This is precisely why this saying is so profound. Let go, and everything will naturally fall into place. Because the moment you let go, your inner battle ends, and life begins to flow in its rightful direction. The habit of holding on stems from insecurity. We think that if we let go, everything will go wrong. But the reality is the complete opposite. The tighter we hold on, the more likely things are to shatter. And the more we let go, the more natural and balanced things become. It's like when you tightly grip a flower, its petals get crushed. But if you gently release it, the flower blooms in its full beauty. Life is the same. When we let go, life blossoms. The important thing to understand is that letting go does not mean surrendering. Letting go means allowing life to operate according to its natural essence. It is the trust that the universe will bring you what is right for you. Surrender is passivity, but letting go is active faith. It is the belief that if I let go, life will support me. This faith brings profound peace. When we don't know how to let go, we live in anxiety. We constantly think about what tomorrow will bring. What will people think of us? Will our plans succeed or fail? And this anxiety drains our energy. But the moment we say, "Now I let go," our mind becomes light. Letting go frees us from anxiety. And when anxiety ends, inner peace and stillness are born. It is this stillness that gives us the greatest strength. Letting go also brings depth to love. When we try to hold on to someone, love gradually becomes a burden. But when we let go and grant the other person freedom, love truly blossoms in its authentic depth. Because the essence of love is freedom. If there is possession and holding on in love, it is not love. It is imprisonment, and imprisonment is never sustainable. Thus, those who truly know how to love also know how to let go. And they experience that when they let go, love naturally returns, deeper than before. When you hold on to life too tightly, everything becomes a battle. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But look, so far, what has your control ruined, and what has it improved? How many times have you thought things would go your way, but life pushed you onto a completely different path? And then, looking back, you realize that path turned out to be the best for you. This means that what life brings is always right for you. But when you're holding on, you feel everything is wrong. This is exactly why letting go is true understanding. It is the acceptance that life knows more about life than you do. Letting go connects us to the depth within, where there is no fear. Fear is always related to holding on. If I let go, I'll be alone. If I let go, I'll lose everything. But the truth is that loneliness comes from holding on. Freedom comes from letting go. When you let go, you connect with the inner sky, which is always whole. There, you realize that you actually lack nothing. You have always been whole. Holding on only blinds you to this truth. Letting go also teaches us that everything is temporary. No matter how hard you try, nothing is permanent. Relationships change, circumstances change, the body changes, time changes. And it is this temporariness that makes life beautiful. If everything were permanent, life would become boring. But we don't accept this temporariness. We want to hold on to it, and from there, our suffering begins. When you let go, you accept the dance of life. Each moment becomes fresh. Each experience becomes precious. The important thing to understand is that letting go is not passivity. Many people think letting go means doing nothing, but letting go means relinquishing attachment to outcomes. You still do your work, but you leave the results to life. This is the message of the Bhagavad Gita. Do your work, but don't worry about the results. When you let go in this way, work ceases to be a burden. You work with joy, and it is this joy that brings success. Letting go is also essential in relationships. Often, people hold on to each other. You are mine, you must not go anywhere. But it is this holding on that gradually kills love. Love only thrives in freedom. When you let go, if the other person stays, it is because of love, not coercion. And if they leave, that too is a blessing, because only what is truly meant for you stays with you. Thus, letting go is the test of love. Those who know how to let go in love have understood the essence of love. When you let go, you say yes to life. Holding on is always a denial. You say, things must happen this way, or I won't accept them. It is this denial that brings suffering. But when you let go, you say, whatever happens is fine. And in this acceptance, you find peace. This acceptance opens the door to meditation. This acceptance frees you from within. This is why those who know how to let go are always happy. Letting go also frees us from illness. Think about it. How many diseases are caused by worry and stress? Heart disease, high blood pressure, insomnia, insecurity, all are the results of holding on. Because we hold on to everything, our bodies also become tense. But when we let go, the tension in the body relaxes. The mind becomes peaceful, the body becomes natural, and health naturally returns. In other words, when you truly let go, everything naturally falls into place. Letting go teaches us that we cannot control life. We think we can control everything. But is that true? Can we stop our breath? Can we command our heartbeat? Can we tell the sun not to rise today? Even the smallest law of life is not under our control. So why do we keep holding on to the illusion that we can control life? It is this illusion that is the source of suffering. And when we let go of this illusion for the first time, we realize that there is no need to control. Life has always been functioning correctly. Letting go is surrender. Surrender means admitting that I cannot do everything alone. I must trust the universe. It is this trust that makes us light. When you surrender, life lifts you onto its shoulders, and you realize that what you cannot do alone, life will do for you. This is the greatest strength of surrender. This is the greatest faith. Ultimately, letting go gives us absolute freedom. Holding on always imprisons you. Holding on means fear, desire, insecurity. But when you let go, you rise above all these. You become free, and this freedom is true joy. This is liberation. This is the wholeness of the soul. Therefore, this saying is not just words. It is the deepest truth of life. Let go, and everything will naturally fall into place. Letting go is not just about withdrawing your hand from external circumstances, but also about ending the inner battles. Each of us is holding on to some pain, some memory, some humiliation, or some expectation within. It is this holding on that pulls us back to the past and prevents us from living in the present. When we say, let go, everything will naturally fall into place. The first meaning is to let go of the old burdens you are tired of carrying. When the burdens of the past fall away, the present becomes light, and the future naturally becomes bright. We also forget that every experience in life comes to teach us something, but we hold on to those lessons and turn them into pain. For example, if someone betrays you, it comes to teach you to trust wisely, not blindly. But you hold on to that betrayal and carry that fear into every relationship. This holding on prevents you from embracing new love, new possibilities, and new freedom. When you say, let go, you accept the experience but do not cling to its pain. And then, that experience becomes wisdom, not a burden. Letting go has a deep connection with trust. Only those who trust in life can let go. Those who don't trust always hold on tightly. We think that if we let go, everything will fall apart. But the moment we trust and let go, we realize that life is far wiser than we think. Life brings us exactly what we truly need, even if it goes against our desires. This is why letting go is a spiritual leap. This leap takes us straight into the heart of the universe. Understand that letting go is not just liberation from pain, but also from joy, because holding on to joy causes suffering no less than holding on to pain. If a joyful experience comes into your life and you want it to last forever, that very desire will bring suffering, because the law of life is that everything changes. Happiness changes, suffering changes too. And those who understand this neither hold on to happiness nor fear suffering. They experience both and let go. This is balance. This is the path to peace. Letting go is not an exercise but an understanding. It happens when you fully realize that holding on only brings suffering. When this understanding sinks in, holding on naturally falls away. You don't need effort. Just like when you hold a hot iron, you don't need to try to let it go, you naturally drop it. Similarly, when you see that holding on is the cause of suffering, you naturally let go. Letting go teaches us to truly love in relationships. Most people mistake love for possession. They say, "If you love me, you must belong to me." But that is possession, not love. True love says, "You are free. Whether you stay with me or not, I still love you." This love can only happen when you let go of holding on, and that is the deepest, most authentic love. It has no fear, no insecurity, no expectations, only freedom and surrender. Letting go also allows our creativity to blossom. When you constantly worry about the future and try to control everything, your mind is bound, and a bound mind cannot create anything new. But when you let go, your mind opens. New energy arises, new ideas emerge, and new enthusiasm comes. This is why great creators, poets, musicians, and saints all say that their greatest works came when they let go and allowed the flow of the universe to pass through them. Letting go also frees us from the fear of death. We see death as the greatest fear because we think it will take everything away. But those who have learned to let go no longer fear death. They have let go of attachment to relationships, desires, and the ego. They have nothing left to lose to death. Thus, saints smile even in the face of death. For them, death is merely the final liberation. Understand that letting go is not running away from life. Many people think letting go means abandoning responsibilities, relationships, or ordinary duties, but that's not true. Letting go means relinquishing attachment to outcomes. You perform your duties with awareness and honesty, but without clinging to the results. This is true renunciation. This is true meditation. This is the path of karma yoga, the path of action without attachment to results. Ultimately, letting go gives us what we have always sought: peace, freedom, and joy. When you hold on, you think you are gaining, but you are actually losing. When you let go, you think you are losing, but you are actually gaining. This is the deepest mystery of life, and this is the essence of the saying, "Let go, and everything will naturally fall into place." Azaria. Letting go teaches us that our efforts to control life are futile. We think that if we plan enough, accumulate enough security, and hold on to enough relationships, everything will be under control. But has anyone's life ever been fully in their hands? Even the most powerful king cannot stop death. The richest person cannot escape suffering, and the wisest philosopher cannot change the future. This means the idea of control is merely an illusion. When we let go of this illusion, we realize that life has always been in balance. We don't need to do anything. Holding on always stems from fear. We hold on to relationships because we fear loneliness. We hold on to money because we fear future insecurity. We hold on to reputation because we fear losing respect. But those who let go are freed from all these fears. They understand that true security lies within. If there is inner peace, external insecurity cannot shake you. This is letting go, relinquishing external holding to realize inner strength. Letting go connects us to the present. Holding on is always tied to the past or the future. You cling to a memory from the past or a possibility in the future, and thus you cannot live in the present. But life exists only in the present. This moment is the truth. Only when you let go does your mind break free from the past and future, anchoring itself in the present. This is the meditation of the present. This is the celebration of life. When we let go, we realize that every experience in life is temporary. Happiness comes and goes, suffering comes and goes, success comes and goes, failure does too. But we hold on to them and want them to be eternal. This very desire brings suffering. When we let go, we see every experience as a traveler. It comes, teaches us something, and leaves. This perspective makes us light. This perspective brings peace. Letting go is the greatest test of love. If your love is based on holding on, it will gradually die. But if your love is based on letting go, it will grow deeper, because the essence of love is freedom. If you truly love someone, you will give them the freedom to soar. If they return, that is the truth of love. If not, that is fine too, because love never demands possession. Love is letting go, and in letting go, love finds its depth. Understand that letting go is not laziness or escape. Many people think that if they let go of everything, life will stop. No, letting go means doing your work with complete honesty, but without clinging to the results. This is what Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. Do your work, but don't worry about the results. When you let go of attachment to outcomes, work becomes a game, and this game makes life light and joyful. Letting go brings profound freedom. Holding on is always imprisonment. If you hold on to a relationship, it becomes a prison. If you hold on to money, it imprisons you. If you hold on to reputation, you live in the eyes of others. But when you let go, you become free. You no longer depend on anyone. You live from within, and this freedom is true joy. Letting go is the maturity of the soul. A child clings tightly to a toy and cries if it's taken away. But gradually, they understand that the toy is not everything. Similarly, as we mature in life, we realize that relationships, money, and fame are temporary, and there is no point in clinging to them and crying over them. When this maturity comes, we learn to let go, and this is the greatest growth of the soul. When you let go, a lightness appears within you. This lightness is the doorway to meditation. Holding on always creates a burden, and with a burden, no one can soar. But when you let go, you become light, and this lightness takes you to great heights. This lightness leads you to God. This lightness brings the experience of liberation. Ultimately, letting go helps you realize that life has always been whole. We think we must hold on to make it whole. But when we let go, we realize that life has always been complete. It is only holding on that makes us feel lacking. When holding on falls away, the sense of lack disappears, and we experience for the first time that everything has always been fine. This is the profound essence of the saying, "Let go, and everything will naturally fall into place." The greatest blessing of letting go is that it connects us to the inner stillness. When we keep holding on, our mind never stops racing. We think, "This must stay with me, this must not be lost, this must exist." This holding on creates constant noise. But when you let go, the inner noise gradually quiets. Stillness emerges, and this stillness connects us to the ultimate truth beyond words. This is why the essence of meditation is, let go of holding on and immerse yourself in stillness. When you let go, you realize that nothing truly belongs to you. The body you call me is not yours. It was given by nature and will one day be taken back. The relationships you call mine are not yours. People come and go in their own time. The money you call mine is also an illusion. You cannot take it with you. In other words, nothing truly belongs to you. When this truth becomes clear, letting go becomes easy, and this ease brings liberation. Letting go not only brings spiritual liberation, but also peace and balance in practical life. Think about it. If you hold on to every little thing, a harsh word, an insult, someone's mistake, your mind will always be heavy. But if you let go, you become light. You can start relationships anew. You can focus on your work. You can live in peace. Thus, letting go is not just a spiritual practice, but also the greatest solution for everyday life. Letting go means gaining the ability to see life in its true colors. Holding on always clouds our vision. We don't see things as they are, but as we want them to be. This desire leads us astray. When you let go, your eyes become clear. You see that people, no matter how they are fine. Circumstances, no matter how they are fine. And life, as it is, has always been beautiful. This vision is meditation. This vision is compassion. Letting go also connects us to the mystery of death. We always see death as a loss, but those who have learned to let go understand that death is not a loss, but a return to the source from which we came. This is the ultimate letting go, when we release everything and return to emptiness. For those who have learned to let go little by little in life, this final letting go becomes easy. Then, death becomes a celebration, a liberation. Letting go shows us the true form of love. Often, people mistake love for possession. You are mine, only mine. But this holding on suffocates love. Love is not love without freedom. When you say, "You are free, whether with me or not," that is when love blossoms. This is why a mother's love is considered the purest. She does not hold her child tightly, but gives it freedom. This freedom is the greatest sign of love. Letting go gives us courage. Fear always comes from holding on. But those who have let go become fearless, because they have nothing left to lose. Those who let go of everything are the bravest. They fear no one. They accept both life and death. This courage makes them radiant from within. This courage transforms them into saints. When you let go, you realize that life has always been whole. We think we are not perfect and need to hold on to become perfect. But that is an illusion. When we let go, we realize that we have always been whole. Holding on only makes us feel lacking. When holding on falls away, the sense of lack disappears, and we experience the wholeness of the soul. Letting go teaches us that time cannot be held. We want beautiful moments to stay and painful moments to pass quickly, but time does not operate according to our wishes. Time follows its own law. When we let go of holding on to time, we can enjoy every moment, whether good or bad. We experience it and let it go. This makes life simple and joyful. Letting go makes us grateful. When we hold on, we always want more. We are never satisfied. But when we let go, we realize how much we have. This body, this breath, this sky, this earth, all are miraculous. This gratitude fills us from within. When we are grateful, life gives us more, and this gratitude makes us rich. Letting go teaches us that the true treasure of life is not outside, but within. External things always change. If we hold on to them, we will always be insecure. But the inner peace, inner love, inner stillness, these are eternal. To attain them, only one thing is needed: let go of external holding. When we let go, we connect with the inner treasure. This is our true nature. Letting go leads us to meditation. Meditation is not an action to be performed. Meditation happens when holding on falls away. When attachment to thoughts, desires, and the ego dissolves, stillness emerges within. This stillness is meditation. This stillness is liberation. This stillness is the experience of God. Letting go teaches us that life is a flow. It is constantly moving. If we try to hold on to it, we only create conflict. But if we let ourselves flow with it, we experience joy. A swimmer who goes against the river's current will drown, but one who flows with it will never sink. Life is the same. Let go and flow with it, and everything will naturally fall into place. Letting go takes us to the depth within. When we hold on, we stay on the surface. But when we let go, we dive deep inside. There, we experience the soul. There, we experience God. The surface holds only conflict. The depth brings peace, and the depth comes only when holding on is released. Ultimately, the saying, "Let go, and everything will naturally fall into place," is not just advice. It is the law of life. The universe has always been in balance. We only need to let go of our holding on. And the moment we let go, everything begins to align. This is peace, this is liberation, this is love, this is meditation. The greatest battle of human beings is not with external enemies, but within themselves. We constantly struggle with ourselves, with our thoughts, emotions, past, and desires. This is why we are always tired. If you look closely, you will see that most of your energy is not lost because of the external world, but because of the inner battle. When this battle stops, an infinite source of energy awakens within you. You become light. Your steps naturally begin to dance. The battle with yourself begins with rejection. We cannot accept certain parts of ourselves. We think our weaknesses make us smaller than others. We think our mistakes make us guilty. We suppress our emotions and fight with them. But the truth is, no one is perfect. Every person has light and darkness. When you fight with your darkness, it becomes stronger. But when you accept it, that darkness gradually turns into light. Fighting with yourself leads to breakdown. Because this is a battle you cannot win. You are standing against yourself. You are looking for an enemy within yourself. When a person fights against themselves, their entire strength dissolves. This is why many people feel empty inside, because their energy is consumed in the inner battle. If that energy were used for love, meditation, and creativity, life would blossom. Understand that fighting with yourself is fighting with life. Because you are a part of life. When you are angry with yourself, blaming yourself, you are denying the universe. And those who go against the universe cannot find peace. Peace comes only when you accept yourself as you are. When you say, "Yes, I am not perfect, but that is my beauty. I make mistakes, but that is my opportunity to learn." This acceptance is the beginning of self-love. Stopping the fight with yourself is not passivity. It is self-awareness. It means seeing yourself as you are, without judgment. It means accepting your flaws as well as your strengths. When this acceptance sinks in, love arises within you. You realize that, like a flower accepts all its petals, you too can accept all parts of yourself. And then, your life becomes a celebration. When you fight with yourself, you are working against your own energy. It's like a person rowing a boat while drilling holes in it. You try to move forward, but your holding on pulls you back. This is why many people say, "We work so hard, but we still don't find peace." Effort only brings joy when there is no inner conflict. If there is inner conflict, every external effort will always remain incomplete. So, the first step is to stop fighting with yourself. This habit begins in childhood. Society teaches us that we shouldn't be ourselves. We must be smarter, more beautiful, more successful, like someone else. When we look at the truth within, we think we are wrong. This rejection gives rise to the inner battle. We fight with our desires, our weaknesses, our emotions. But the end of this battle is only exhaustion and emptiness. Meanwhile, life tells us, you are enough as you are. When we fight with ourselves, our mind is always divided into two parts. One part says, you are like this, and the other says, you shouldn't be like this. This conflict keeps us away from peace. Think about it. If a part of you is against yourself, how can you be stable within? This is why many people cannot maintain focus in meditation. They sit down, but the inner battle continues. The first step of meditation is to stop fighting with yourself. Stopping the fight with yourself does not mean indulging your weaknesses. It means recognizing and accepting them. Only through acceptance can change happen. If you are upset about a habit and keep fighting it, that habit becomes stronger. But when you say, yes, this habit is in me, but it is also a part of me, suddenly your perspective changes, and this acceptance gradually weakens the habit. Understand that most of the battle with yourself comes from desire. We always think we must have something we don't currently have. When we don't achieve it, we fight with ourselves. Why am I like this? Unable to get it. This dissatisfaction makes us empty inside. But if we let go of attachment to desire and say, what I have is enough, peace immediately appears. The strange thing is that when we stop fighting with desire, life begins to bring us what we truly need. Stopping the fight with yourself means becoming friends with yourself. Think about it. If you are always against yourself, who will you be with? Your best friend is you. If that friend is against you, how can life be peaceful? So, become friends with yourself. Accept yourself as a true friend, with your weaknesses, with your mistakes. When you become your own friend, the external world also becomes friendly. Notice that the greatest result of fighting with yourself is guilt. When we don't accept ourselves, every small mistake becomes a burden. We constantly blame ourselves, and this guilt eats away at us from within. But when we stop fighting and learn to forgive ourselves, we are freed. Forgiveness is not just for others, but first for yourself. Forgiving yourself is the beginning of self-love. Another aspect of fighting with yourself is comparison. We always compare ourselves to others, then create dissatisfaction within. This comparison forces us to fight with ourselves. But the truth is, every person is unique. You cannot become someone else, and if you try, you will lose your uniqueness. So, instead of fighting with others, accept yourself. Let go of comparison and enjoy your own existence. The battle with yourself also happens when we suppress emotions. We think anger is wrong, sadness is wrong, fear is wrong. When these emotions arise, we fight with them. But emotions are not enemies. They are messengers, coming to tell us what is happening inside. When you fight with them, you lose their message. But when you accept them, they gradually settle down. Ultimately, stopping the fight with yourself means loving yourself. When you love yourself, you no longer see an enemy within. You accept every part of yourself, no matter how flawed. When this love arises within, your entire life changes. Because if you can love yourself, you can love the entire universe. This love transforms life into a celebration. When you fight with yourself, a constant dissatisfaction exists within. No matter how much success you achieve externally, an inner voice always says, I am not enough. This voice prevents you from living in peace. You keep running to prove yourself, and this race never ends. But when you stop fighting and accept yourself, that voice falls silent. You realize that you have always been enough, always whole. Stopping the fight with yourself is surrender. It means you are no longer a prisoner of your own expectations. We often create unattainable ideals, and when we don't achieve them, we blame ourselves. This self-blame fuels the inner battle. But if you say, I am fine as I am, this surrender frees you. This doesn't mean you don't progress, but you allow growth to happen naturally, without conflict. The battle with yourself cuts you off from your inner innocence. Every child is naturally joyful because they don't fight with themselves. If they want to cry, they cry. If they want to laugh, they laugh. If they are angry, they show it clearly. But as we grow up, we are taught not to do this or that. Gradually, we start suppressing emotions and fighting with them. This is why adult life is full of stress. Stopping the fight with yourself is reclaiming the innocence of childhood. When you fight with yourself, your energy constantly leaks. It's like a large water source with a hole. No matter how much water you pour in, it runs dry. This is the state of our lives. No matter how many external achievements we gain, the inner emptiness doesn't disappear because our energy is consumed in the inner battle. But when you stop fighting, energy is preserved, and this energy leads you to creativity, joy, and meditation. Stopping the fight with yourself is the first step to self-love. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others, because you can only give what you have within. If within you is hatred, rejection, or self-blame, that will reflect in your external relationships. But if within you is love, acceptance, and compassion, that will spread outward. Thus, loving yourself is not selfish. It is the prerequisite for loving others. When you fight with yourself, meditation becomes impossible. You sit down to meditate, but the inner thoughts constantly disturb you. One voice says, "You can't meditate successfully." Another says, "You need to try harder." This battle prevents meditation. But when you stop fighting and simply accept thoughts as they are, they gradually settle. This is the beginning of meditation. Stopping the fight with yourself also means seeing your mistakes in a new way. They are no longer sins, but opportunities to learn. When you fight with them, they become burdens. When you accept them, they become teachers. Every mistake brings a new lesson, and these lessons make you grow. So, stop fighting with yourself and embrace your mistakes. They are the steps to your growth. Notice that fighting with yourself also makes us fight with others. If you are not at peace within, you cannot be at peace with anyone outside. Your behavior becomes irritable, relationships become tense, your decisions become unbalanced. But when you stop the inner battle, external relationships also become natural. You learn to accept others as you accept yourself. This is why self-acceptance is the key to changing the world. Stopping the fight with yourself means practicing forgiveness. We often forgive others to some extent, but we don't forgive ourselves. We keep looking back at the past and blaming ourselves. This battle cuts us off from the present. But when we forgive ourselves, a burden is lifted. We become light. We realize we can start life anew. This forgiveness is the greatest medicine for the soul. Ultimately, stopping the fight with yourself means accepting your uniqueness. Every person is a unique creation, but we try to become someone else and fight with ourselves in the process. If you stop trying to be someone else and simply be yourself, peace comes. The universe created you perfect as you are. When you accept this, life becomes beautiful. The greatest irony of fighting with yourself is that we waste energy where it is squandered the most. If you look closely, you will see that the exhaustion of life doesn't come from the outside, but from the inner conflict. We recover faster from fights with others, but when the battle is within, it erodes us. This is why many people feel tired without physical exertion. This exhaustion comes from the constant inner battle. When you stop this battle, you experience true rest for the first time. Stopping the fight with yourself means understanding the two voices within you. One voice always criticizes you. You are useless, you failed, you can't do anything. The other voice is gentler, saying, you are enough, you are beautiful as you are. But because we constantly fight the negative voice, we don't hear the gentle one. When we stop fighting and sit in stillness, the gentle voice becomes clear. That is your true nature. Notice that the battle with yourself doesn't just happen in the mind, but also in the body. When you constantly criticize your body, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm not attractive, you are fighting with your body. This battle never allows you to be healthy. The body needs love and acceptance. When you become friends with your body, it blossoms. When it blossoms, it becomes healthy. Stop fighting with your body and see it as a companion. It will start supporting you. Another form of fighting with yourself is constantly being stuck in right and wrong. We set up an inner courtroom where we put ourselves on trial. I shouldn't have done this. I'm wrong. I'm guilty. This endless lawsuit destroys us from within. But if we understand that every person acts according to their knowledge and circumstances, this battle ends. Then, instead of punishing ourselves, we start learning, and this learning moves us forward. Stopping the fight with yourself is the greatest prerequisite for meditation. Meditation means immersing yourself in inner stillness. But if there is a constant battle within, how can stillness come? This is why many people say they don't find peace in meditation. They try, but the inner battle doesn't let them sit still. Meditation is not effort. Meditation is letting go. And the first thing to let go of is the battle with yourself. When you let go of this, meditation happens naturally. The battle with yourself also causes imbalance in relationships. When we don't accept ourselves, we beg for acceptance from others. We want them to praise us, recognize us. When they don't, we get angry with them. But the problem is not with others, but within us. If we accept ourselves, we don't need recognition from others. We feel whole within, and this wholeness makes relationships healthy. Stopping the fight with yourself brings profound courage. When we fight within, we are always afraid. We fear our weaknesses being exposed. We fear rejection by others. But when we fully accept ourselves, this fear disappears. We can stand before the world as ourselves. This is true courage. This is true confidence. When you stop fighting with yourself, compassion arises within. Compassion is not just for others, but first for yourself. Stop blaming yourself. Be gentle with yourself. When you look at yourself with love, you can also look at others with love. This is why the first result of self-acceptance is compassion. Notice that stopping the fight with yourself is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. It is not a single decision, but a moment-to-moment awareness. You must constantly remind yourself, I am not against myself. I am with myself. When this reminder sinks in, stability emerges within you. Then, no circumstance can shake you. You will find a friend within, and that friend will guide you through every difficulty. Ultimately, stopping the fight with yourself leads you to the greatest mystery of life. When you stop fighting, there is no longer a division between inside and outside. You become one with yourself, with life, with the universe. This oneness is liberation. This oneness is joy. This oneness transforms life into a celebration. So, remember that the greatest battle is not outside, but within, and the greatest victory is stopping that battle. The battle with yourself makes you doubt your own existence. You start thinking that maybe you are wrong, maybe your desires are wrong, maybe your emotions are not real. When a person begins to see their existence as wrong, the flame of life within them gradually fades. This is why many people sink into depression, not because of the external world, but because they are constantly hurt from within. But the day you start saying to yourself, you are right as you are, the flame of life within you reignites. Stopping the fight with yourself means embracing your shadow. Within us, there is not only light, but also darkness. Not only strengths, but also weaknesses. Not only courage, but also fear. When we deny our darkness, we fight with it. But when we say, yes, this is also a part of me, a miracle happens. That very darkness, that weakness, gives us depth and humanity. It teaches us compassion, and this acceptance makes us whole. Understand that stopping the fight with yourself is not laziness. It doesn't mean you indulge your flaws and say, this is who I am. It means accepting yourself as you are and then changing naturally. When you put pressure on yourself, change is only superficial. But when you look at yourself with love, change becomes profound and natural. To make a flower bloom, you don't pull its petals, you water it and provide sunlight. Similarly, when you stop fighting with yourself and nurture yourself, change comes naturally. Stopping the fight with yourself is the step to inner stillness. When there is an inner battle, stillness is impossible. Your mind is constantly wrestling with the past or worrying about the future. But when you let go of this battle, a deep peace emerges. This peace leads you to meditation, and this meditation introduces you to the depth of your soul. Stopping the fight with yourself means seeing yourself through the eyes of love. When you look with love, you don't just see flaws but also beauty. You realize that even though you are not perfect, you are whole. Even though you are weak, you are precious. Even though you make mistakes, you are still learning. This vision frees you from within. Love is the medicine that heals all wounds, but that medicine must first be applied to yourself. Notice that the battle with yourself also distances us from the external world. We start looking at others with the same harshness we apply to ourselves. If we don't accept ourselves, we cannot accept others. But when we accept ourselves, suddenly we see that the whole world is worthy of acceptance. This is why those who find peace within spread peace outward. Stopping the fight with yourself is the greatest freedom. Holding on is always imprisonment, whether it's holding on to yourself or others. When you fight with yourself, you are imprisoned. But the day you stop this battle, you become free. No one can stop you. No one can bind you, because your greatest enemy has become your friend. This freedom is the celebration of life. Understand that to stop fighting with yourself, we must forgive. We must let go of past mistakes. We must understand that whatever we did at that moment, it was all we knew. And if we didn't make mistakes, how would we learn? Every mistake brings a lesson, but if we cling to the mistake, it becomes a burden. So, forgive yourself and let go of that burden. Stopping the fight with yourself also means breaking free from comparison. We always measure ourselves by others' standards, then become dissatisfied with ourselves. But the truth is, every person is unique. Your journey is yours, not someone else's. When you accept your journey, comparison naturally falls away. This is self-acceptance, and this self-acceptance makes life simple. When you stop fighting with yourself, a profound energy arises within. This energy makes you creative. It fills you with love. It brings you peace. It connects you with the universe. And this energy helps you realize that you are not alone. The entire life is with you. This is why those who make peace with themselves also make peace with the universe. Notice that stopping the fight with yourself means understanding your emotions. We often suppress emotions and fight with them. But if we start observing them, we will see that they are trying to say something. Sadness tells us to pause and look within. Anger indicates a boundary is being crossed. Fear reminds us to stay alert. When we see emotions as messengers, they stop troubling us. Stopping the fight with yourself means realizing that you are the person you need to be. The universe created you unique and whole as you are. If you try to become someone else, you will fight with yourself. But when you accept that I am the person I need to be, life becomes simple. This is the truth of the soul. Stopping the fight with yourself means entering a profound inner stillness. This stillness is not just the absence of noise, but a peace without conflict. When there is no inner conflict, you can hear the whisper of God. You realize how miraculous life island. You see that everything has always been fine. When you stop fighting with yourself, your entire perspective changes. You start seeing everything as an opportunity, not a burden. You start inspiring yourself instead of blaming yourself. You start loving every part of yourself. This change transforms your life. This change makes you light, free, and full of joy. Ultimately, this message is the deepest truth of life. Stop fighting with yourself, because your greatest enemy is not outside, but within. When you stop seeing it as an enemy and make it your friend, everything changes. You become peaceful within, full of love outside, and one with the universe. This is liberation. This is joy. This is meditation.